Dear Diary, this is part 4 of Christopher Runs For Mayor. This GarageBand on my new MacBook Pro has been glitching up a motherfucking storm. How's this for painful? I did like a 25-minute sprawling final scene. All kinds of details and anecdotes, etc., etc., etc. I can't remember half of what I fucking said. And then the GarageBand glitched and deleted it, and Command Z didn't even bring it back. And nothing I could do could return it. It was a fucking glitch. I've never seen this thing do before. But that's the point of an Apple. It introduces a new glitch every few days. Fuck you, Steve Jobs. I said you were a crook in 1998. Lucky guess. Holy fuck, I don't even know where to begin. Oh my God. So we walked away, what was I say? While I was still running for mayor, I did a whole bunch of really, really, really cool stunts like that, and some of it's filmed, or most of it's filmed. I'm going to have to spare you all the details of some of the other press conferences I crashed. There was a really good one with me and Ferrer in Queens. Now this shows you, wait, let me throw this in there. It's an interesting tidbit about how females are crazy. I got invited, I was only invited to like 3 debates that entire year. One was a Korean one, an Asian one, a Korean businessman. They went nuts for me. I had all these fucking Korean teenagers asking to have my photo taken with them, and da da da. That should all be on video as well. I think it is, the Raul. And then a black sorority. Well, I don't know if I knew it was a black sorority. It was a sorority from Queens College. And Delfino had a gig and couldn't come with me. And being that she's insane, Delfino said, she got really angry and started a fight. It's like, you're going to go. You're going to go to this Queens sorority. You're going to go. And in her mind, she's like, he's going to go there, he's going to speak, and every woman there's going to want to sleep with him because he's a genius. And he's funny. Oh, shit. And even though her insecurity is insane and not founded on any reason or logic, it doesn't matter. She's going to start a huge fight. And I kept saying, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. And when I got there, it was all black middle-aged women. Delfino's started a fight for nothing, which is what she did every day, which is why we are no longer together. And which is why I don't usually date females. And one of the reasons I've been celibate most of my life, because I don't really need any more headaches, surprisingly. No more drama needed. And Delfino, but that debate was really great, because Freddie Ferrer came and he saw me, and he wanted to leave as soon as he saw me. And that was one. Oh, this is another interesting point about how I'm the greatest political candidate of all time. I dare say I'm the first candidate of all time who's one of his opponents. Actually, on several occasions, my opponents have praised me. Beyond the Call of Duty. Example, he wasn't a libertarian candidate. In 2001, in 2 different debates, what party was he in? Anyhow, he, in 2 different debates, said I was by far the smartest candidate. Really? The youngest, least educated of the whole batch, and this is the major candidates, is the smartest candidate running. Twice my opponent said that. Not bad for an uneducated guy who is unwell-read and is the youngest by 20 years. I got praise like that everywhere I went. At the debate in Queens College, for instance, it wasn't just mayoral debate. It was because most of the major candidates would blow these people off because most major candidates are fucking scumbags. They don't have to deal with people if they don't have to. They don't even fucking like the people. I actually, oddly enough, I really like people, even though they suck. And Queens College, we all give an opening statement. So it wasn't just mayoral candidates. It was comptroller candidates, the treasurer of the city council candidates, etc. And when I got up and gave my 10-minute opening speech, after me was the Republican candidate for controller, and he got up and said, "How do I follow that? How am I going to follow that?" And because I just blow audiences away. You don't have to believe me. I can do it tomorrow. If you don't believe me, I'll do it anywhere on the planet tomorrow. It's not hard to do. There's never been an intelligent person running for office in human history. I'm the first and I'm the last, because I'm never running again. I told New York City, if you want free subways, now's your chance. If you don't vote for me or you don't work for my campaign, stuff like that, that's cool. That's your right. But you can't say you didn't have a chance. You had a chance to fix your life and your city, and you didn't. And so I accept that. You don't want free subways. You don't want roof patios on your roofs. You don't want your rent cut in half. You don't want your phone bill cut in half. I understand these things. It's your call. I'm not going to force my ideas down your throat. And so, fuck, I jumped ahead and then forgot where I was. Oh, so this Queen's Cause debate was hilarious because what I did, again, I just took control. I always have to fucking take charge because nobody's in fucking charge anywhere on this planet. And you got to take charge. When you see bullshit, don't just do what most people do, which go, that's bullshit. Take charge. So I did. What happened was this one Freddie Ferrer showed up late with a bunch of his like entourage with him, glad handling. He was like the star. He was the leading Democrat, so he was the superstar. Oh, he had come to see the little people. They were excited. And because most of the major candidates didn't come to this thing, I would go to any event because I don't discriminate. I don't care if it's going to be cameras there or not. I want to talk to the people. And remember, my main goal was pretty modest. I ran for mayor to spread the message of solutions and things. Like if I said free subways and crowds went nuts, then maybe some other city council candidates or other office candidates would look at my platform and go, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I agree with that one and that one too. And they could say, oh, this guy, everyone loves this guy. Oh, I'm for free subways too. And then everyone will love them. You see, I was hoping to influence other candidates to start taking my ideas. Ironically, Bloomberg ended up using a lot of my ideas and taking full credit for them, even though 0 of them were in his platforms. And all were in my platforms each 4 years. And so, what's next? So this is funny. So Freddie Ferrer comes in. He comes in. Oh wow, the big shot in the race came in to say hi to us. He sees me, gets scared. We're filming secretly, and he talks to the people running it and says like, oh, I gotta go be at 3 other events tonight. I don't have time to stay. Is there any chance you could put me on quickly and I'll just talk to the people briefly? And so they're like, yeah, sure, Freddie, sure. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to change the order tonight and put Freddie Ferrer on, and I immediately go nuts. I immediately make a scene, and I say, what? It's like, no, first come, first served, or something like that. Because Freddie had just arrived, and he wanted special treatment. Now, remember, his entire candidacy was based on there'll be no more special treatment. Everyone will be equal, unlike under Bloomberg, where it's the rich rule everything and the big shots rule everything. I'm going to be a different kind of mayor. I stick up for the little guy. That was his entire campaign philosophy and PR, that he would care about the little guy. So here he comes in, Mr. Big Shot, says, oh, I'd like to cut in front of the line of everybody else who's been waiting for an hour to speak, and I would like my special turn. And so I made a huge scene. Now I'm in a room full of mostly old people who are almost all minorities, okay? They know what it's like to not be treated fairly, and they all watch this in front of their eyes. So I made a huge scene, and all of a sudden people in the crowd started joining me and agreeing and saying, yeah, that's not right, that's not fair. No. Christopher was here first. The other people were here first. No. Freddie came last, and Freddie has to go last. And I got a lot of people in the crowd very vocal. It was nice. And I fucking made a huge scene. And then I forget what happened. Maybe she said, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I understand. But I think they still plowed through and let him go and cheat. And so he gave his little spiel, robot spiel. And then I was not next. And I was sitting there going, there's no way. He just said a bunch of horse shit. There's no way I can obey the rules here. And so as soon as he was done, literally, as soon as he hands the mic back to the lady, I jump up and take the mic from her. And I say, ladies and gentlemen, I know this is rude. I hate to do this. But since Freddie just went out of line, I'm going to go out of line because I want you to know about this crook, Freddie Ferrer. And he's still in the room, like trying to shake hands with as many people as he can, but get the fuck out of there as fast as he can. And I'm going after him. And I'm even using it. I was like, you guys just saw what he did there. His whole campaign slogan is about sticking up for the little guy. Did you see him sticking up for the little guy? No, he took advantage of the little guy because he's a Mr. Big Shot, he thinks. I said, you guys all saw that. What a scumbag. He said, hey, Freddie. I said, hey, Freddie, you stick up for the little guy. Let's see you tell this crowd right now that you are going to fight and you're going to give a public statement about that I should be allowed in all of the debates because you stick up for the little guy. Tell everyone in this room and the cameras that you are going to stick up for the little guy. Because if you're not going to stick up for the little guy now, there's no way you're going to do that once you're elected mayor, you fucking two-face. I didn't say fucking. But I was vicious. And he's still in the room. And remember, I'm on a microphone in the PA system. And he's like ignoring me. I'm like, what's the matter, Freddie? You can't hear me? It was really funny. It was so good. Again, if you were to look at the top 50 debates in New York City history, you're going to find all 50 I'm in. Slash and burn, that's my policy. And I just destroyed him. And then he slipped out of the room. And I was amazing. That's on video somewhere, probably decaying too. Ask the Raul. So I'm trying to remember half the stuff I logged in the previous diary that was fucking destroyed by Apple. There's so many different stories to tell you, so many different things. Here's another not very well-known fact. Almost nobody knows this fact because the media all kept it secret, even though it was one of the most stunning upsets in political history in all of America. Here in New York City, the mayor of New York City... oh, wait, we're going to push pause to save. Dear Diary, unfucking believable. You can't make up how fucking smart I am. In '98, I predicted all the problems this MacBook Pro would have before there was such a thing as a MacBook Pro, because I knew if it is billionaire experts creating it, well, that's how capitalism works. It corrupts everything. They're going to make the most expensive product with the shittiest materials and try to pay people the lowest salaries or get the biggest fuck-ups and just cheat customers. That is the capitalistic way. I have now recorded the rest of this diary twice, and Apple. Remember, I didn't go for the shittiest laptops out there. I went for allegedly the highest quality. You were told since birth that you get what you pay for. This is the umpteenth smoking gun that you never get what you pay for. It's a fucking hoax and a brainwashing lie by the rich elite who have run everything since the beginning of mankind's history. And how do you stay in power? How do you stay in 10 mansions? You gotta trick the sheep. You can even look at Consumer Reports magazine. They don't take advertising, so they're not corrupted. And they've said the same thing in every single examination they've done of all kinds of products. You do not get what you pay for. You do not get what you pay for. If you pay 10 times more for this, you're getting shit. You're getting ripped off. You're being ripped off. You're being ripped off. You're being ripped off. Wake the fuck up, people. Now, I'm so fucking scared of fucking recording shit, I'm going to have to push pause every fucking 3 minutes and save in little bits. Unfucking believable. Pausing to save. So, let's return to our story of 2005. One of the many... Remember, I didn't set records, international records, once. I set them about 8 different ways in the 2005 election. Not bad. Imagine if I had actually put some effort into it. Or if anyone had helped me. I was listing one of the most amazing upsets. Oh, also, please forgive me. In the previous 3 installations, I'm not sure. I couldn't go back and listen to this shit. That's another problem with Apple fucking me over. Because then I didn't have time to finish it while still remembering, what did I talk about in part 1, part 2, and part 3? And what did I talk about in the first half of part 4? Fuck. Can't remember it. Don't have time to go back and listen to it. Again, if you see Steve Jobs, rip his fucking eyes out, okay? You have no idea the scandals by Apple. I can list hundreds, okay? Actually, in my own experience, I can list hundreds. But remember, he's gotten caught. Apple computers have been caught ripping off people around the world, backdating stock options. Remember, let's put it in a nutshell. Steve Jobs stole the name of his company and the logo of his company. And he admitted it. And he only finally, a couple years ago, finally settled with the Beatles. You could say, well, okay, their companies were called Apple. And their logo was an apple with a bite taken out of it. When I decided to name my company Apple, I hadn't heard of these Beatles. This was late 70s. I had not heard of these Beatles. And I didn't know their logo was also the same as mine. He's admitted it. He admitted in interviews. That was what inspired the name. And so the Beatles rightfully sued and said, what the fuck are you doing, asshole? And Steve Jobs, if you have any doubts that he's a fucking scumbag criminal, he didn't say, you're right, we owe you some money. We did. I stole your name and I stole your logo. He fought it. He fought it for over a decade. And then he finally, when he realized, oh, fuck, there's no way I can win this, he settled, I think, out of court last year, the year before. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Again, I'll say it again and again. Everything you believe is a fucking lie. Capitalism robbed everyone blind. It destroyed every inch of the planet, yada, yada, yada. Let's return to the election now. So one of the most amazing upsets by me, was, I hope I didn't record this on a previous one now. Fuck. Mayor Bloomberg, let's back up a little bit. Here in New York City, in New York State, I believe we might be the only state in America that allows a candidate on the ballot running for office to be on more than one ballot line. Example, Ed Koch was 1 year in the election as mayor. He was the Republican candidate for mayor, and he was simultaneously the Democrats' candidate for mayor. That's fucking outrageous. But both sides want to be on the winning team. That's how sleazy everybody is. The Republicans and the Democrats are both like, Koch is going to win it. So let's give him our ballot line so we can be on the winning team and maintain our ballot status, etc., etc., etc. Pretty sleazy, I think. Giuliani and Bloomberg, both Republican scumbags, super crooks who were hated by everybody, said, wow, we're Republican scumbags in a Democratic city that always votes Democrat. We're not going to be able to pull this off. We need to have a second ballot line. Rudy ran on the Liberal Party line. That's why the Republicans worship him. You hear him every day still saying he's the most popular candidate for president this year, 2011. They're saying for the next election, Rudy's the most popular one. Of course he is. He's the Liberal Party candidate. You Republicans have never once kept your story straight on any issue, literally, ever. They have never once kept their story straight, the Republicans and the right-wingers. That's what right-wing means. It means shape-shifting, lying sycophant. If you don't believe me, find some Republicans who'd care to debate me in public. They'll all chicken out, which is one of the rules of Republicans. You can't get me to chicken out of a debate, and you can't get Rush Limbaugh to not chicken out of a debate. And so Giuliani he knew nobody would vote for him as Republican. Well, only some of the scumbag morons and the rich in the city. So he also had to have a second ballot line, the Liberal Party, so the stupid sheep would say, oh, I'll vote for this guy. I read about him in all the newspapers. Everyone says he's great. All newspapers say he's great. You know, why would the corporations lie? I mean, they're going to lie to sheep like me. And so they all say he's the greatest. I think I'm going to vote for him. Well, he's a Republican. Oh, because remember, none of his ads mention that he's a Republican. He's running for mayor of New York City. Vote for Rudy. He leaves out the word Republican in 100% of his advertising. Is that false advertising? Yes. Is it legal? Of course it is. Who's going to stop him? Is there somebody in America who's honest? Is there a law enforcement agent in America who's honest? Please give me their number. Give me their email. I'd like to find this because I've not yet seen one honest law enforcement official in my entire life. Okay? So fuck you. Bloomberg, of course, did the same thing. He ran 3 out of 3 times as a Republican. He claimed to be a lifelong Democrat because he knew that would trick the sheep. It tricked all the sheep. The most educated people in New York City still believe all of those retarded lies. You can find me the most educated people in New York City. They all believed it. Well, Mike Bloomberg's a lifelong Democrat. How do you know he's a lifelong Democrat? Well, because the newspapers told me. And the mayor said so. Oh, I mean, he wouldn't have a motive to lie about that, would he? I mean, okay, it would make the difference between getting elected, making tens of billions of dollars, or not getting those tens of billions of dollars, not getting elected, not getting to live like a rock star for 12 years. Yeah, that's not a big difference. I mean, he wouldn't lie. Oh, wait, he'd have every motive on earth to lie about that. But he's smart. Well, he's not smart, but he has enough common sense to know all I have to do is just tell the stupidest lies on earth, and it works every time because people are retards, and New York City is the world capital of retards, and it worked flawlessly. Every piece of evidence contradicted it, and so everyone believed it. Just like in New York City, everyone saw crime exploding under Giuliani, but the newspaper said crime is way down, and they said, I got to choose between trusting the corporations who never told me the truth before and my eyes. I'm going to have to go with the corporations. And that's what every educated person in New York City did. Every left-winger, every right-winger, all believed the bullshit. You can't find me any right-wingers who doubted it. I mean, left-wingers. Find me some progressive liberals who say, yeah, I don't believe the media. I'll prove they're lying in seconds. They believe everything. Pausing to save. So we had Rudy Giuliani and Mike Bloomberg running on 2 party lines. Mike Bloomberg couldn't get elected as a Republican. Again, all of his ads left out the fact that he was a Republican. The Republicans didn't find that offensive at all, that he was ashamed to be a Republican. That didn't bother them at all because they have no principles. He gave them cash. They said, that's all we need, Mike. We don't care if you're the biggest tax and spend, lifelong Democrat in history. You could be Hillary Clinton and we'll give you our ballot line. Just give us some cash because that's all Republicans care about. Cash, not principles. They don't stand for anything except me, myself, and I. And so Mike ran on, the second line he was on was the Independence Party. The Independence Party here in New York City is a joke. It's it doesn't stand for anything. I mean, the people who work for it, I think, are semi-legit, but it doesn't matter. In politics, nothing has to do with principle or what you stand for. It is you. Everyone says politics is corrupt. You don't have a clue. It is 1,000% more corrupt than you could ever imagine. And I know I've been working in it for 20 years. I could tell you tens of thousands of shocking stories. Please don't make me. About how utterly dirty. Like, I don't know if I mentioned this thing before. Like, for instance, I was kept out of a couple political debates, their argument being that there were not enough seats on stage for me. These were nonprofits who were violating federal law by keeping me out of the debates. That's a pretty serious crime. They're committing federal crimes in order to block truth, in order to block any opposing viewpoints. And then they use the argument, we don't have enough chairs on stage. One of the times, one of the major, so-called major vegetable candidates didn't show up. And I said, oh, you do have an extra seat. And then they said, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You just can't be in it. You have no idea what these super Nazis, again, it's not fair to call them Nazis. The Nazis had some principles. So the Nazis stood for something. The political people in New York City stand for one thing and one thing only: cash. They don't care about ideology. They don't care about progressive or conservative ideology. You just don't get it, people. So Mike Bloomberg needed the Independence Party's nomination. He gave them tons of money. Example, one check for $250,000. Oh, how nice of him to donate money to the Independence Party. It also allowed him to pretend, I'm an independent. It's like, oh, that's interesting. You ran 3 times as a Republican, which was the major party in New York City. In fact, in New York State too, you couldn't be, there's no humanly possible way to be less independent than Mike Bloomberg. So all the newspapers said, well, facts are boring. We're just going to go with reprinting the lies and repeating the lies and repeating the lies. And that's what they did every single day. You don't have to take my word for it. I'm willing to prove it. Name the time and place. Let's debate. So he stole the first election thanks to 9/11. He probably would not have won the 2001 election without 9/11 happening on the day of the primaries and Giuliani's scams and then Giuliani's endorsement of Mike Bloomberg. And even then, Bloomberg only won by like 30,000 votes in a city of 3 million people. Remember, he spent $75 million to Mark Green's $16 million and beat him by 30,000 votes. I got 17,000 votes in the 2005 election without spending $120. If Mike Bloomberg spent $75 million to beat his opponent by 30,000 votes, $75 million, and I got 17,000 votes spending $120. And remember, now the entire media calls Bloomberg a genius. So if I'm 100,000 times more genius than him, why would the media not say that? Because all you have to do is murder a journalist, and you've instantly made the world a better place. You have a right to murder Nazis. Journalists are 10 times more dangerous than Nazis. There were no Nazis to begin with without lies of journalists. Please never forget that and spread the word, because the media controls what everybody thinks every minute of every day. That's the plan. This isn't some conspiracy shit. This is well established, and even the media moguls have admitted it, okay? They just know, what are the sheep going to do? Are the sheep going to fucking get off their asses and wake the fuck up? Of course they're not. You don't have to be clever about your crimes against humanity, because humanity's a bunch of fucking vegetables. It says it in the Declaration of Independence. He says people are fucking lazy fucking cowards who are just going to fucking kneel for their entire lives. Of course they are. That's why I've never wanted to live on this planet. And I wish somebody would have the courtesy of killing me. Sorry for digressing. Pause to save. Shit, we're going to do a part 4. Wait, this is part 4. We're going to do a part 5 because there's still a bunch of stuff about how many records I set in the election. Some of the really juicy, funny shit. The relative epilogue of this story is dramatic. Stay tuned to the Cranium Report with Commander Cranium. End of part 4.